Oh my gosh, guys. It is what's the day? What's today? Wednesday?
March 18th.
Thursday? Thursday? Holy goodness, the week has gotten away from me. Anyway, tonight we have a special guest. We have another success story. I'm going to introduce you to Angie. We have recently met. She seemed really familiar when we were coming, IMing or DMing or whatever you call it, back and forth. And I just fell in love with her energy. She's nothing but positivity and sunshine. And I really hope you're ready because she's got a lot to say. So let me go ahead and bring her in. And this is Angie. So I'm going to let you go, girl. Hi. It's so nice to have you tonight.
Hi, it's glad to be here. How's everyone tonight? I hope everyone's feeling positive and ready to hear a good story.
Absolutely. So we got to talk a little bit last night, and I mean, wow, I was blown away. So let's just because I want to hit some important points. So let's just recap really quick. Let's recap from really quick when you were young to when you met the boyfriend when all of this stuff started happening. Can we just go through that real quick?
When I was young, I moved to Florida fresh off the farm and very naive to any kind of city life, any kind of drug activity, or any kind of thing like that. And it spiraled out of control with a man who told me that he loved me, but showed me by beating me. And it only got worse from there, introduced me to drugs, and my life got out of control and led to jails.
About how old were you then?
When I moved here to Florida, I was 18.
Wow. Oof, 18. That's such
I'm
a
52. It's been a long
52
time.
now. Get it, girl. Okay. So you had some abuse going on when you were a child. You had that was a learned behavior. We all of us that have been through, I'm not gonna we don't have to say anything to people who have been through it. We already know what the story is. It was learned behavior. You thought it was okay. You got into this relationship with this dude. The behavior from what you said got increasing, it got worse, it increased over time.
The behavior got worse. The drug activity got worse. And then that led to committing small crimes against my own bank account and trying to get away from him, and got myself into trouble, led
Now,
to jail.
how are you supporting yourself? Did you do that? Did you do the typical Florida girl thing that a lot of us did, the dancing? Did you
Yes, I did. I became a dancer. Actually, I went to a club one night with some college friends that I had met, and I just jumped up and started boogieing, and a guy tapped me on the shoulder and goes, you can get paid to do that.
I'm sorry.
Later on down the road, I thought, after I got to thinking, this seems pretty easy. So it
Well,
led to
especially
me
when you're
getting
running in
on
that
stage one
lifestyle.
time.
Yeah, yeah, and you're in that lifestyle, and that night becomes your day. Everything happens at night when you're in that lifestyle. So why not? You're
Yeah,
awake anyway. Okay, so let's
yeah.
take it from there. So, um, that happened. You also said that you were numbing. You were using your drug because you wanted to numb. What were you stuffing down? Because that's what it is. You were trying to. What were you running away from, baby?
Child abuse. My mother had a boyfriend that was very, very abusive to me and my brother, and more so to him than me because I was older, I think, and a female. But it was really bad.
Got it.
It ended up coming to the point where he kicked me and broke my ankle, and my mother ended up leaving him. And I guess she just realized, okay, this is out of control.
Oh, fine. Yeah. Well, I mean, it gets to that point for some people. Okay, so jails, institutions, that started to become a part of your life. So, How many years did it take you before you got your first rodeo?
Probably within my first couple of years of use, I ended up going to prison for
Yeah,
grand theft auto,
got it.
and
And that led to just continue. What happened when you got out that first time of prison?
when I got out the first time, I got back with the same guy. After 3 or 4 months, he started coming around,
Oh,
and I went back with him. I figured, oh, he could change. I
now,
thought
were
he
you
had
using
changed.
in that little bit of time? Were you using it all? Or
No,
so
no,
you were
not when I
good. You were
first got out. I was good and was good with him, and everything was fine. And then he started putting his hands on me again, and I picked up again to numb,
got it.
and it spiraled again out of control. Um,
Okay.
he went to
So
work one day, and I went back to dancing while he was at work, and just led
yeah,
from there again.
got it. So you went back to prison.
I went
Okay.
back to
How
prison.
long? Year and a day. Wasn't that one like a year and a day this time?
The
No, the
first
first one was
one was a year and a day. The second time was for um, y- uh, overwriting my account, cashing checks that on account
I got
that was empty.
you. Okay, okay. So how long did you do then? That was like
24,
2 years,
24 months, 24
24 months.
months.
And when you got out at that time?
When I got out that time, I was single for a while and ended up running back into the same guy.
Son of a
And
biscuit eater. Stop it.
that
And you think,
guy
and you're
was
thinking third time's the charm?
kind of, sort of,
Say
yeah,
it isn't
if that's
so.
what you want to call it. And it wasn't. Boy, it wasn't. Third time is not the charm.
So
Mm-mm.
let me guess, let me guess. Went right back into the same behavior.
Right back into it, only this time it was even worse.
Because
The drug abuse became worse because the abuse became sexual then, because I wanted to leave, didn't want anything to do with them. And
yeah, that wasn't happening. So that wasn't
that
going to
wasn't
be part of the
happening.
deal that he was having. I got it. You don't
No,
even need to say
no.
anymore. Okay, so life goes on. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. Life goes on. You're doing your thing. All of a sudden, son of a biscuit eater, bam, you're up, you're in prison again. What's going on? What's here? What are you thinking right now? Now, this is how old are you this time?
When I got 80 months in prison at the age of 24 and
Holy
got out when I was
snap.
34.
Oh my God. Okay. That's one hell of a that's
Yeah.
harsh at 24. You're still a little J, you're a
I
baby.
basically I basically grew up and matured, as they say, on the other side of the fence.
Oh, hey, I've met many, many, many. Okay. So now you're at a C. You're doing 80 months. What do you start thinking? Because we kind of got to talk about this because I said, "Well, did you change then?" And
I
you
started
said,
thinking I don't want to die in here. I started thinking I don't want to die in here. I seen so many people come and go in prison like it was a revolving door, and then I had met a lot of lifers and people and heard their stories and things behind drugs and alcohol and abuse who are never going to leave. They are going to die there
all because of their addiction,
because of their addiction
a substance abuse, a disease
and
led them to their crime.
substance abuse.
Oh,
And
I've heard a
it
million.
made them substance abuse led them to either commit murder, be involved in murders in some way or form or another, and get life sentences, and some were even sentenced to death.
And that goes from all the way from there all the way down to the petty stuff because of addiction. I mean, that's something that we need to talk about and we need to speak about that. They are. I mean, that's why this platform is open right now, which is so amazing. People are starting to realize, but they still need to be more aware because even though they think they're woke, they're not. They don't know what happens inside. A lot of people get out and they want to forget. A lot of people
I
get out.
gotta,
Go ahead,
I have to say one thing and one thing for sure.
please.
is that I knew Eileen Warnos.
Mm. Speak it,
She
girl.
was not she was not a monster. She wasn't a monster.
Speak it,
Like the
girl.
movie says, she's not a monster. She was not a monster. She started out getting abused by her own father, by her own grandfather, and she numbed with drugs.
Yeah, that's insane.
And they killed the girl. She ended up killing a bunch of people because she put herself in a situation, and now may she rest in peace. And there's lots of people I can mention names, but I don't
Yeah,
know if they'd want me to. But a lot of
yeah.
people on
Well,
the
for
other
their
side are going to be
yeah.
stuck there.
No. Now you did say something that I want to. One of my main platforms. My two main platforms are recidivism, freaking issue, and reentry reform. If we have reentry reform, excuse me, I had on my tongue. There's not going to be so much recidivism because people are going to have skills. They're going to have a little bit of knowledge. They're going to be prepared for the struggle, which we're going to talk about, that happens upon
I
your
did.
release. Okay, so you did some of your treatment inside now, your changes, and you did that by the drug in-house treatments, right?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of
Yes, I
those?
did.
What'd you think?
The stories that I heard, I mean, just heartbreaking. And sometimes I, I thought, how petty of my stories, how minute are my stories compared to the struggles and strifes that they had endured and the things that they had been through.
Did you see healing in people though? Did you see
Yes, I
that
did.
process? See, isn't that
Yes, I
amazing that
did.
that can happen
Yes, I did.
inside?
I've seen people go home and never come back. And I know today they are free and living clean.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because
Yes.
it can happen. It does happen. We as humans, when we have that mind click, that that's it for us. We're done. We want to
It,
change.
it,
I'm
it
done.
has to, it has to first, the change has to start within. It has to
Oh
start
my
in
God.
your heart, in your heart. And then it has to start in your mind. And then you have to collaborate them two together in order to work as one. Because this mind is going to do that rotten, stinking thinking like it always did. Going to always want to resort back to the old easy way of things because it don't want to struggle and don't want to strive. But this heart right here, you gotta change the heart to change the mind. And
It
it
took
really
me,
is mind over matter. It really is mind over matter.
I believe that because for me, and for me, I think that I was more stubborn than most. I don't even think it started in my heart in the beginning because, quite frankly, I was so angry and just mad at myself and the
Oh
world.
God.
But then when I got to prison, it was all on me. I was just, I
Trust me,
knew where
no.
I was and what I had done and put myself there and just was like regretful, remorseful, shamed, embarrassed, humiliated. But something happened between staying 3 years in the county to hitting that compound. And that was, this will never happen again. So my brain had to stop that stinking thinking because I'd be, and it's not, I had to fake it till I made it every single day for at least 3 years, girl. I'm not kidding. It took me the longest time to figure out that it's not that I have to wake up and do this. It's, man, I get to wake up and do this today. I get to do it. It's
Sometimes don't you catch yourself when you wake up? If you've ever done a long stretch of time, sometimes you wake up and sometimes I forget that I'm free. I do. I catch myself. Sometimes I'm looking for the pink exit sign or listening for the keys, or
that's funny.
sometimes I actually wake up, and when every day I wake up and realize that I'm free, I thank God. I really do.
Girl, there's nothing. It's funny you said that because the other day I literally, and I've been out over a year. I sat up in the bed. It was, I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning or something. I had to go to the
You
restroom.
thought it was kind of time.
I looked for the stinking sign, and I was like, no. Okay, so you have seen people come in and back in and back in while you're still doing your 80-month bid. How many times?
Yep.
Like 4 or 5 times these people come
God,
in, right?
gosh almighty. This
I
one
got to
girl,
the point where I would tell them, don't even talk to me.
wow.
Don't talk to me.
It's like, yeah, they'll be hollering at you. Hey, I'm like, you got a cigarette? Nope. Sure don't. Ain't got nothing for you. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Not
They
even
got
a
some
roll up.
Nope.
No taints for you
Better
today,
hit the
sir.
butt can. Better hit the butt can.
Oh my God, remember that? Remember butt duty? Oh, okay. So recidivism, definitely reentry. So you did a lot of healing in those treatments. And one of the people that we did an episode on Spotify, Pam Schrader, she has done several. And she's got a life sentence. She's in one right now. I guess they've got a new one. It's an incentive program. So that's really cool that they're incentive. That's a good, finally, because people who do get in there should get better shit. They should get
Exactly.
incentive. They don't get
Exactly.
PRs. They mind their business. They mind the stinking rules because, quite frankly, that's what we're there to do. We didn't know how to mind the rules out here.
That's right.
That's what it is. Okay. So you get out in what year?
2003.
This is the
After
part.
doing 80 months.
This is the exciting part, man. And how old were you?
34.
Okay. And you're 52 now. And you've
52.
been clean that whole time. That's so amazing.
And it hasn't been easy. And I have to say, it hasn't been easy every day. I take it one day at a time, 1 minute, 1 second. But
Girl, nobody promised
it's
us
worth it.
easy.
It's
Nobody
worth it.
promised us easy.
It's
And
worth it.
and we got through there. You know that wasn't easy. Anybody who's done any time, and I'm not talking about a turnaround. I'm not talking about your little 2-year bid. I'm talking about people who have really done some time, 5 years or more. You've done some time. You know what it is and what really goes on in there.
Yeah. If you
And
don't,
that's another thing.
a couple of years is like a slap on the hand. Don't do that.
Yeah,
If
and I've
you,
seen so
it,
many people go in and they make it like it's a joke. Again, they make friends, they get a girlfriend, they're gay for this day, and whatever. Do you? I don't give a shit. Oh, excuse me. I don't really care what you do. I never did. I was pretty much a loner for it for the most part. I did my job. I had a good job. That's what passes your time is a good job, and I did that and it worked out. I done got on a rant. Go. Finish talking for me.
girl, and they think it's summer vacation in there. They think they get a little slap on the wrist and they come in there and they just think it's a timeout.
I used to
It's
get
not.
mad. I got mad just now. Look, my little apples are red.
It
I just
does.
used to
It
get
does.
so frustrated with that. It used to just irritate me because, God, I wish they would have learned their lesson because I never wanted anybody to ever feel like I
I
felt.
used to say, God, I wish I could get out like you and I wouldn't be back. How can you be back already? And it hasn't even been a year and you're back already. And it's just, I couldn't believe some of the people that just came back. And I just couldn't believe it. It was just mind
And
blowing
they
to just
were
watch
going
them
to
come and
be
go.
there. What about the ones that really messed up and came back and they were going to be there for the long haul? That broke my heart. And the women with children. Oh my gosh, we've got so much to talk about. Okay, so you got out. What were some of the struggles? Now I talked about this with Shelly on Monday. But you got out a while ago. What were some of the struggles you faced even then when you got out?
Nobody wants to give you a job. Nobody wants to rent to you. You have a reputation. You have a stamp on you, a stigma that nobody wants to see. They want to shun you and look the other way. They don't want any part of you because you have that stigmatism, that stamp,
Yeah,
that
of a
seal of
felon.
unapproval.
Yeah, you're a felon.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
doing a lot of things out there now to give us back some of our rights and things like that. And I think that the movements are so cool what's going on right now. But Shelly, she recently got out. I got out in 2019 in December. the struggle is real when it comes to looking for a place, because there is nobody that wants to rent to a felon. And I was really shocked by that. I really
Yeah,
didn't realize that.
I was too, because of the fact that uh I always thought the expression, cash talks, money won't, I always thought that expression, but
Oh, no,
no,
no.
no, they don't care about that.
In fact, let's round back around to that. Let's go back to this little cash infusion. So that's a fact, Jack. You got some money. They still look at you stupid.
Yeah,
Like I hate it. Okay,
yeah.
now, did you ever get a chance? I can't remember if we talked. Did you get a chance to go to work release while you were?
Yes, I did. I did get a chance to go to work release. I
Where'd you
worked
go?
for IHOP, and
And
big shout out for IHOP.
hell yes, a
Appreciate the
big
heads
shout
up
out
on
for
that.
IHOP. They hire so many work release girls. I just got out of the Orlando work release not too long ago. And when I tell you, out of, I think we had 86 girls, I swear, I swear 34 or 40 of them work for Dunkin' Donuts. So shout out to y'all. Your coffee's banging. Thank you for
Right?
hiring felons. Thank you for taking a chance on us. Thank you. You also get a what? A big old tax break, don't they?
Yes, they do, because they're bonded and insured.
That's right. So anybody who is listening to this, big shout out for Dunkin' Donuts, for IHOP, for Chili's, for, I'm going
Red
to say it.
Lobster. Don't forget Red Lobster.
I was not going to say it because I had my feelings, but for Red Lobster, because y'all do hire felons and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But let's get to that money. While you're in work release, they take a giant portion of your money. Restitution, if you have child
Woo!
support, they put 10% for your savings. They take your housing, which is it can go up to 75%. I don't know if it's up
Yes.
anymore, but it was 75.
Once you go to work release and get a job, they charge you to live there. They charge you room and board.
Girl, and listen to this. I worked as a waitress. So when you work as a waitress, they get you real good that way because they
Yeah,
don't
because they
only
know
pay
you
you.
make them cash tips every day.
Girl,
Yeah.
but they tax you because there's a weekly for
Yep.
people who bring in tips like that weekly,
Yep.
monthly.
Yep.
I was paying,
They do an estimate or roundabout estimate and charge you because they figure, okay, you got to make at least 20, 30 bucks in tips a day.
I'm going to tell you the
So,
truth of it.
mhm.
I'm going to be
Yeah.
so honest. My butthole was puckered. God promise you. My butthole started puckering the minute I knew I was eligible to go to Bradenton. I wasn't doing, seeing nothing. I was so scared. I was scared.
Right.
I was scared. I gave them people every single dime. I think maybe 3 times I might have kept like $40 back. I gave them every stinking penny. You know what though? I paid, oh, I'm not gonna say how much. I paid a lot of money off of my restitutions. And I had enough to set myself up, but I watched so many girls who struggled. They busted their butt. They worked them 70 hours. Plus they had to work on the compound when you're there.
Yes.
Then they
Yeah.
go home with $400 with no place to
That's
go
not
because
even enough. That's not even enough to spend a week in a hotel room.
where are you supposed to go? Now, mind you, you're supposed to be able to have all these fantastic resources at your disposal at work release or their classifications, the wonderful, lovely people that they are up on your release. That's a bunch of what it is.
That is not true. That is
Tell them
not
what
true.
really happens
That is
when
not true.
somebody's released
That
from
is not
prison.
true.
Tell them what really
They give
happens.
they give you a piece of paper that says a lot of BS, a lot
Tell
of
them what happens
references that
when you
are no longer available. They don't update the paperwork. So anyone out there, let's just give a big shout out to Change Comes Now.
I
How
know
about
that's
that?
right.
Let's
Deborah
give a big
Bennett,
shout out to
tattoo.
Deborah Bennett and Tattoo. How about that?
I know that's
Because they
right.
are doing wonders right now out there in the world. As a matter of fact, I just spoke to them this morning. How you doing,
Did
guys?
you really?
I hope y'all are watching. Peace.
They are
They
making a
are.
change.
Did you see the blanket they left on the steps of the justice this morning? Did you like that? I loved it.
I cried when I saw her on the floor. Actually,
That's for
that was
all you sisters
she
out
was at
there.
my hand. She did
Yeah.
that.
Hey.
Let me tell you what they do. Okay, here's what change comes now does, guys. Just for y'all who think that everything that an inmate needs is provided for them. I love people like
It's
you
not.
because here's what happens. COVID hit. Uh, there's no masks for girls. There's no paper towels. There's no caustics. There's no bleach. There's no gloves. There's no masks for the officers. Guess what Deborah Bennett and Change Comes Now did? Tell them what she did.
They made masks. They made masks with their own two hands.
They made masks. They made
They
sure that
bought. They got vouchers. They got people. They got people out here in the free world to bring caustics, bleach,
donations. I donated a couple times.
donations,
Let me tell you something
donations.
too. There are women inside that donate because of her cause and the movement that she's making. She has literally
That's right.
delivered truckloads upon truckloads. And when I say truckloads, I shit you not. Truckloads of soap.
I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them.
To
I swear,
every
girl. Go
female
girls.
facility that there was. Not none of them. They included every single facility they did this for. It was incredible. And she is a person, my God, I wish I could meet her because she knows the bills and the legislation. She's into that's her thing, man. She's moving mountains. I
And
am not
when
that
you
person. That
when you sit in there, if you sit in there and you have any time, your most wisest thing to do is spend your time in the law library, reading the statutes and the laws and what's really going on.
yeah.
Yeah, writing
Uh
grievances,
Oh, now see, grievances I could do. That stuff I could do.
pencil whip them.
Because that's the only way that you leave a trail for yourself and you actually get things done.
That's
Believe
right.
it or not, that's exactly what it is. Um, but I'm not that person. What I can do is something just like this. This is what I'm good at. I'm good at
And
talking
you
to
were doing great. I'm so
things.
proud of you. I
But
really
a
am.
big shout out to Deborah Bennett. If I ever get the opportunity, I just want whoever's listening, tell her I said hello. I can't wait to meet her and Tattoo. I met Tattoo a couple times on the yard. She would never know who I was, though. I was a nobody. Okay, so we're taking a long time. So let's round back to that money situation. So they get out, they have no family, they got $400. Where do you think they're gonna go? What's happening?
They're going to resort back to what they knew, probably most likely. And I pray to God that a lot of them don't.
Right.
But
What would somebody else do? I mean, when you have nobody, that ain't gonna get you very
when you
far.
have nobody, your best bet is to go to your local probation office and try to find someone who will listen. There's people going in and out the doors all day. There's probation officers going in and out the door all day. And if they truly, really care, they will take a moment to listen.
Thank
They will
you.
take a moment to help.
And that is a shout out for those COs and those sheriff's department workers and those cops out there that are real and probation
Who
officers because they
genuinely
are.
care and
They
want to
do.
see a change. They don't just want to lock you up. They want to talk to you. The patrol officers that arrest you are the ones that don't care, are the ones that just quietly take you to jail or quietly take you to prison. But the ones that care, they're the ones that are going to talk to you in the back of the car while you're back there handcuffed. They're going to say, what's going on? Why are you going to jail?
What's your thought process?
Because they care.
Those are the ones.
And if you
And sometimes if we get out of our own anger, I don't even know how we really got on this room, out of our own self and out of our own anger, and we listen to a person like that, we might just learn something. Open your mind, people, just because, and it goes for us too. I'm I'm trying to make people woke to what's happening in there and stuff, and what really goes on in the struggle that happens. I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of bad things that go on in there. There's a lot of bad, corrupt officers. They
Yeah.
want to rope you
There's
off
some
and
that
hang
are
you
good.
up.
That's what I was saying. There's some that are good, and it's vice versa. They don't all look at us like we're POSs. They just don't. And I refuse to be the person that says that they do because I speak the truth. They don't. They're good. I've had a couple. Love them. Okay, you're a survivor. I love you. What's going on in your life now? What makes you every day you send me something amazing, something positive.
I've just been recently blessed with a wonderful man in my life.
Oh,
His name is
girl,
Craig Burnett, and I am so happy. I've never been this happy in my whole life.
you just threw out
I
his
have.
whole government name. She's like, and his name is.
And he knows I'm doing this interview, and I love him so much, and he's so proud of me, and I just love him so much. And I thank God that he supports me in everything that I do and allows me to be myself
I know
and
that's
accepts
right.
me for who I am, regardless of my past.
How beautiful is that? I love it.
Everybody's got a past. It just doesn't, everybody's got one. Just
Everybody's
like
got
everyone
one.
has an old pair of shoes laying around, you know?
That's right, but you're not defined by your past. That's not who you
No,
are. It's not who
no,
you
that's
are.
not who I am. No,
I'm so
no.
proud of you. I could not be happier to have met you. I hope to have you in my life for a long time. You give me nothing but joy. And girl, if you don't put it out, facts. So we are going to have a facts check though, because I know you got a lot to say about what's dirty in there. And I'm not talking about the DNA on the walls. I'm talking about dirty.
The corruption, the
Yeah,
corruption, the
it needs to be
officers
spoken.
the officers that will tell you, oh, you want to go home? They love to check your notes and see when your release date is because they have that information. They have a target date. It's always on the docket. And if they know and they'll watch and they'll know, a lot of them will try to scare you physically, emotionally, sexually.
Oh, it
You
gets
want to go
brutal in
home?
there.
Well, why don't you
It,
do this? You want to go home on your day? Yeah,
it
it will.
always comes down to that EOS time, too, doesn't
It
it?
always comes down to, and if you want to get out, you comply sometimes, or you end up like me. Instead of going home when you should have been, you end up staying for your whole time because you say, "Lock me up, bring me three
Maxed
squares in
out.
my mail."
See, and
Maxed
I
out
was
because I wasn't going to have it. I had been threatened and abused enough on the outside by a man. I wasn't going to have it by an officer too.
not on the inside.
No,
On
ma'am.
the inside. Well, lady, I love having you on. Um, give a shout out. Who you want to shout out to? Again, your
I
man.
want to shout out. I want to shout out to all my girls back in the day. I just want to say, hey,
I
keep it
know that's
real,
right.
stay 100 positive. And those of you that I still write, I'll keep the letters coming.
I
Keep the
know.
positivity coming. Believe that.
All right. Thank you so much. Hold on, I'm just going to put you on mute for a second and then I'll come right back on, okay?
Okay. Okay.
It was such a pleasure having her in the in the studio in my bedroom tonight. It was fantastic. You guys, please, this is going to be on YouTube and Facebook. Please like it and subscribe. We would love it. Anybody out there, share it. Get the news out. We're on Facebook. We're on Spotify. We have our website. It's www.pure-prison.com. Please check it out. Definitely the YouTube. I can't wait to start sharing more. Oh my gosh, I meant to tell you guys too. Got some letters coming in. We heard from some people. I'm actually going to be putting them together. I have my part-time job this weekend, so on Monday I'm going to be preparing everything. I've got some good stuff. It's coming from Death Row. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you again. All right. Have a great night, guys. Bye. Oh, piece of pen. Remember.